The following is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
What's up, everyone? It's your girl, Fantastic Frankie, here with a very special Hot Girl episode of Fighting Words. And you may recognize my guest, the lovely Jaxx. Okay, they are a mangaka, a voice actor, and also a financial dominatrix. Welcome.
Hello, my dear. Thank you so much for having me. It is an honor to be here. I'm so fucking proud of everything you're doing.
Oh my gosh. No, I'm supposed to be showering you with compliments. For those of you who don't know, Jaxx, you have one of the most interesting journeys I've seen. And you're an OG nerd. You were in the game for a very long time with Noir Caesar. That's where we met. Talk to us a little bit about your journey.
So I would say it's definitely been a very long journey. And for the people who knew me with Noir Caesar, they're probably not used to seeing me like this. Tattoos, hair, like everything out. I kind of fell off for a little while. Lots of chaotic stuff happened. I had to find myself. And I left Los Angeles for a very long time, but I was always desperate to get back, no matter where I lived, even though I'm born and raised in Chicago.
Do you feel like there's more freedom in being a dominatrix than it is being in the nerd space?
I would say, because I've been a sex worker since I was like 16 or 17, like doing porn, you know, everything like that. I'd always been kinky. Like, I'd always been on my kinky shit. I was tying up like my partners in high school and stuff like that. I always wanted to try shit. Like, and it always was like, it was always just more and more and more. And here's the big thing. I'm a huge hentai fan. I've been a hentai fan since I was like long before I should have been watching hentai. And honest to God, if it had not been for hentai, I would have never known I was trans. I'm just like, oh, that girl has a dick. That kind of turns me on. I like that. But the one issue that I had with the depiction of women in hentai particularly was that a lot of hentai, let's say 97% of it, is rape themed. I wanted to kind of like change that dynamic as far as one, I didn't see a lot of black doms growing up. Like the kink scene is inherently queer. It's inherently POC and black. The very first person that I ever dommed, had my first real experience with, was my college professor. There's no way of saying it without this sounding like predatory. Let me just say that.
I dated a professor in grad school. I was like, I'm grown, he's grown, and it didn't seem predatory. At the time. One day he said I was being childish. And I was like, I'm 21. Like what? I was like, I'm actually a child. What are you talking about? After that, it really created a shift in our relationship. In media and things that we see, if it feels consensual, especially with the younger person, it's not considered predatory, right? Like I wanted to date my professor, you wanted to date your professor. We were both over 18. How is that predatory? To your point, the media that we're receiving is saying that it's fine.
It's totally fine.
You know what I mean? If you guys don't know what a financial dominatrix does, you charge people to spend their money. Do you charge them and then spend their money?
Real hot girl shit.
It's essentially like being a sugar baby, except the power dynamic is completely different. Out of like, let's say stripping, full service sex work, street walking as you would call it. You don't want to be a dominatrix. Doms are broke. You want to be a financial dominatrix. You don't want subs, you want financial subs. Financial subs have money. So for example, with one of my subs right now, I currently have 4 subs right now. 3 are in New York, and that is very much by design.
Do you see your New York subs at all? Do you meet them in person?
Oh no, I just drain them from here.
What?
Like literally, like I don't, and that's what I love to tell my students and everything like that. Like typically if you are, let's say a OnlyFans model or a sugar baby or something like that, you're expected to send pictures and stuff like that. If I decide to send a picture to my subs, you're fucking welcome. This is a charity. You do not deserve this. For example, for my sub here, who I will charge $300 because he's my part-time sub, and that's $300 per hour as opposed to, let's say, my subs in New York who can afford more, it's $500 per text, and that's how we get our thing going.
Per text? Wait. Per text message?
No, not per conversation, per text. And typically it's not just like, oh, it's just one text or something like that. It's constant text.
Whoa.
Like, so it's pretty fucking nice.
Now, do you charge extra because you do humiliate them online with your page? Yes. Is that an additional charge?
That is an additional charge if they want to be featured on my page to be humiliated.
Is this retribution? Do you feel like you're doing this for Black women?
Oh, abso-fucking-lutely. I have the most expensive critical race theory class in the world. In that, I charge $500 an hour with a minimum of 8 to 24 hours, meaning that is somewhere of, do math, I can't math. When they're with me in the room, if it's physical and we're there, and even if it's online, I essentially make them read the work of Black activists. I'll make them read Black poets. I'll make them, watch Black shows. I'll make them read Black comics and everything like that. I will explicitly tell them about Black history. You're not just going to fetishize me here, then go home to your cute little white wife. No, you're going to learn everything about me, and you're going to respect me as a human being and not just as someone who's beating your ass.
Message!
That's hilarious to think that there is like a Wolf of Wall Street reading bell hooks. And then
no, there is.
Call them. We're both in the anime community. What anime character do you feel like could be a financial dominatrix?
I was going to say Yor, but Yor's a little bit too... I was going to say Yor,
no.
But I immediately thought of her outfit. That's why. I thought of Yor, and I'm just like, Yor's too soft. I'm thinking of the mom from Kill la Kill, the really problematic one.
Dang, maybe.
I'm thinking of her. If I'm thinking somebody, Misa would be I don't know if Misa would be a good financial dominatrix. She seems too, dick righty to be a dominatrix, I think. I think she's more like a sub. I think she's probably more like a bratty sub more than anything.
Do you think Miracle would be a financial dom?
Yes! Absolutely!
I saw the legs!
And here's the thing. Not only that, I completely see there's a whole fandom, sorry, Zeno. There's a whole fandom of Mirko and Hawks that is nothing but pornographic, and it's all BDSM, and it's typically Mirko pegging Hawks.
Really? Interesting. When I wrote that question and I was like, how do I connect this to anime? Miracle was the only one I thought of. The fit, the way she was talking in the villain arc when they stormed that place. And she's demeaning as she's beating everyone, right? She's like, you guys all suck. F y'all, I'm the queen. Wait, I can curse. This is my show.
Right.
Fuck y'all. Tell me one of your craziest stories. I have one in mind that you told me.
The dirtier, the better.
If you don't say this story,
okay.
I'm going to have you say
Please
the story and tell me.
Okay, so the one that immediately comes off the top of my head is one of the worst sessions that I've ever had. So, and this is a story about bestiality. So this white guy hit
crazier.
me up. Yep.
Already wilder.
Yeah,
okay.
Hit me up, and his whole thing is just like, I love to be watched while I fuck my big black boyfriend and everything like that. Yada yada yada. I'm like, cool, your basic race play. Let me make my money and go and whatever like that. Knock yourself out. And I get there, and immediately he brings out this big ass Rottweiler. I don't think twice. I'm like, doggy! Oh my fucking god, how cute! Like, yeah, this is Roland. This is my man, and I'm just like,
huh?
I texted one of my friends, and specifically in this instance, what I always tell my students is you always want at least one man who knows what you're doing. And not just a man, but somebody who has somebody who's like Zeno's voice range.
What is she saying?
Somebody who could sound extremely terrifying, even though...
Zeno Robinson?
I assume he can sound terrifying. I just assume he can sound terrifying.
I was debating whether or not he could play Santa if he had the bass to play Santa Claus.
They're all checking out my guns. Boom! Hell yeah!
But maybe.
I was like, I kind of want to hear that.
No, you said this is insane, the slander.
The other wild story I would have to say is probably one of the very first times I ever dommed. I get into the dungeon, and this white guy immediately is just like, oh my god, yeah, I want to work with him right now. And so I get into the room, and I'm just like, all right, cool, how are you? Blah 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 blah. We make up the casual bullshit, and he explicitly said, I want you to make me apologize for my white ancestors raping yours.
Brother,
What's even more interesting is you told me you started 2 stories. Neither one is a story you told me.
Oh no, this is gonna be good.
You told me once you cosplayed as a churchgoer.
Yes.
And put a remote vibrator in a pastor's butt and remote controlled it while he was giving a sermon.
Yes. Oh my god, I just saw their reaction.
I wish you could see everyone's face. They're like, oh my. Oh my.
So
we have an audience. This is a live studio audience that is 70%, man.
So yeah, no, that is a completely true story. That has everything to do with the fact that I very much grew up in a religious family who, was very homophobic. You're trans, you're queer, you're going to hell, nothing good is going for you, etc. like that. So when this guy approached me, and this was here in Los Angeles, he approached me, he hit me up on Twitter, which is where most of my subs and everything like that find me. And he's like, hey, I'm into something very specific. And I'm just like, well, that doesn't surprise me. You're hitting me up. So he's just like, so I minister at this church, and it's think Westboro Baptist Church. All white, everybody's a homophobe, everybody's a transphobe, just awful. And he's just like, I very much have a kink where I'd like to preach to my ministry, you know, while you like have a vibrating bullet like up my ass, and I had the remote in my bag and everything like that. And he brought me into the church as a lesson on tolerance. So imagine me being the only Black person sitting there in my nice little outfit, you know, and just in my bag and everything like that, and just looking and watching him do it. And it was so fucking funny. It was just so fun.
How did you not laugh the whole time?
I was just enjoying it. Namely, I think it was mainly the stress of being around a bunch of racist, transphobic white people, which pretty much kept me kind of stable. But at the same exact time, I'm just like, oh, I'm enjoying the fuck out of this. Like, oh my fucking God, I'm so sorry. Like, and he was very much enjoying it.
Did you turn up, I'm going to call it volume, when it was quiet?
Yes.
Or when he was, okay.
And then something else you have to understand. There's one more part of this. He was wearing lingerie under his minister robes.
What color?
Pink. I chose it. I explicitly chose it. Lace. Yes, bitch.
Yes, bitch.
Oh,
I love feminization. That's one of my favorite kinks. I fucking love that shit.
I actually bought you a gift. You're going to have Kiki.
No. Here comes the tears, God damn it.
You can't cry. Here, bring it to me.
I'm not gonna look.
This is a very special labeled Fanboy Fighter gift in my signature pink that I'm giving to all my guests. And they're all personalized for you. I can't, and all of the gifts are from the place that we are filming, which is Blast from the Past, an incredible Eisner Award-winning nostalgia store. It's incredible. And for this gift, I got you Hellfire Jean Grey.
Yes!
Hellfire Club Jean Grey. Mostly because she was taken advantage of and then tried to destroy the universe after. And I just felt like that was very on point for what you say. But also, like, to get justice for this bitch, because they always be playing her.
Yeah, I feel so bad for her.
So I just want you to think about her when you're, you know, making guys read things. Give them some comic books and stuff that you feel like are feminist now. Maybe the new Nubia, even though this is a murder. The new Nubia, she's actually queer. And the head of the mascara, and also trans people are allowed to be Amazonians, which is incredible. But
my dear, thank you so much.
Thank you for joining me. You are one of the creators that I met at the beginning of my journey, and to see just the way you transitioned and you still keep, you know, what you love and, you know, finding yourself, I think is very cool and something to be admired, because in this space we're not allowed to be authentically us. So thank you.
Thank you for having me, Frankie. Like, genuinely, I think one of the best things to come from working with Nor Caesar were the connections I made, because I had never met anybody like you who was so quick to stand up for Black women, femmes, and non-men. And it got to the point where I'm just like, I need to get on Frankie's level.
Oh my gosh,
like, I need to get on Frankie's level because of everything that you're doing. Like, so many people fucking look up to you, including me.
People text me for free though. So
listen,
people text me for free. So there's some things you have the sauce, and I'm very proud of you. Thank you. Thank you,
Frankie.
And thank you guys all for joining me. This is a passion project, and I'm so glad to have someone from the beginning of my journey here. So thank you all, and have a fantastic week, my friends.